Creations. So Barry, you're on the screen, so why don't you show us how were you able to get your pins in
No, not yet.
with
Um,
the Dremel?
yeah, I was cleaning and stuff, so sharpening, I mean.
Mhm.
Um, so he's not pinned yet. I'm gonna start doing that now.
Okay.
And then my bear, if I get him pinned fast enough, I'll go to work on my bear.
Yeah, you're looking forward to your bear, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
You need to have your own, you know how what's his name? Our guru, I forgot his name, had the fence post ducks. You need to have your
Yeah.
own business, Barry's Bears, because
Yeah.
you do a
Right.
lot of bears.
Yeah.
So, Fred, what were you able to accomplish in the brief time that we were able to carve?
Um, I resanded those around the eyes, and then the bluish green came through again, and
But
with
you've
these
got your
light
gesso.
coats of
Gesso, that's what we use.
yeah,
Gesso.
I found that and I got it out and I put a coat over it, and that's the way to go.
Where it really covers it up,
It
doesn't it?
covers it up good.
Like
So
kilts. It's like kilts for wood carving. Well, let's see it. Can you show us?
uh this is one of the ones that I put the gesso over.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it really covered it up pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only problem is though, the eyes are whiter than the bodies. I don't know if that's all right or
You'll catch up. You'll catch up.
but
You keep playing the white.
I was just going to leave these the way they were, but because you can still see the wood burning, but maybe another coat or two, you'll still be able to see it.
Okay.
If you
Because
keep
I
it
do
thin,
have it
you
pretty
will.
watered down. So,
Yeah, if you keep it thin, you will still be able to see it.
but I feel that the body should be a little bit whiter, I guess, because
Hmm.
the eyes really stick out. But as I put the dots around, like Barry recommended, maybe,
Do some wood burning. Hmm.
or you see, Barry had some dark areas around. I don't know if you just shaded that area in around the eye socket, but that would tone down the area around the eyes anyway. So
Yeah. I did. First, I did the little things with some wood, with the wood burner, just the tip of the skew and little marks that, and then I put a yellow layer up here and then put a little around the eye, but or around the eye here is where I put the yellow and then around the eye. You can't see it around the eye though. And then on this, you can't see it up here. And then I use a light coat of of black, a really washed out black.
And it looks like
yeah,
you didn't fill in the whole socket with you
No,
just did a little dab to
yeah,
put
I
your
just
eyes in.
put a little bit in the hole and pushed it in until it came out beyond the edge of the eye.
Uh-huh.
So
That's a little different than what I think. Well, the other ones are like, yeah. Hmm. Well, um, just to show you what I'm doing with this box, I had put the black on, and during the break, I sanded it off, and you see how the raw wood is coming through where the high spots are, where I had relieved the wood with gouges.
yeah,
So now I'm going over it with a dark blue, and we'll get a marbling effect. But what I don't know is how it'll work on the part that I didn't gouge. So I'm sanding this too, sanding it down, sanding some of the black off. And I'll go over that and then we can compare notes on that. And I think my dye has dried. So it's looking pretty dark there. So I might leave
yeah,
it because I kind of
yep,
like it that way. We'll see how it looks with the when I start applying the white. And I haven't yet put my harvest Koshchar, which is very orangey brown. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put over this black brown that I
What
have
is that?
dye,
Okay.
but it's got a really warm. It's a warm brown, a warm
Ah,
brown. It's almost
okay.
orange, like a dark orange almost.
Cool.
So I had mixed this last time we were together. I had mixed this with black and got it to be a dark brown.
Ah,
And now
okay.
I've sanded it down so that dark brown should show through this lighter.
Yeah.
That's the plan. That's
Okay.
what, whether or not it'll work that way, we'll see.
Yeah.
But I like it because it gives it more depth, and with painting, especially us wood carvers, we're not really great with painting. So, I mean, some are painters before they start wood carving, but most wood carvers, I think that's what they struggle with most is how to color it and how to painting techniques. So I'm back here doing my box first because I still have blue dye on my brush and I want to use that
Okay.
before I wash the brush. And I should be wearing a mask because this stuff is nasty to get in your lungs.
I'll be right back.
Okay, it's not the best mask, but it'll protect me more than what I had. So I'm too lazy to get up and get the good mask. I'm using a fine grit too. This is a 220, pretty fine.
Okay.
Because I don't want to take all the dye off. And I definitely don't want to scratch my wood. My pretend wood here, I don't know what kind of wood it is. My Michael's wood.
Yeah, I'll mention it, Michelle, just as a tip. But I saw an interesting video on YouTube, and this guy wanted to know whether cheap like gouges were just as good, or can you get away with using them, versus
Like
spending 30
$40,
bucks a piece on stew
40.
buy or
They're like
something.
38 now.
And what he did was mountain wood carvers in their clearance section have gouges without handles on them that you can buy for like $5 or $6 a piece.
Wow.
And then he went to the hardware store and bought like a 1 inch dowel,
Mm-hmm.
and he cut it to like 2.5 or 3 inches long for each one. He bought like 5 different gouges
Mm-hmm.
and put a hole in them and then epoxied them into the handles. And then he sanded and rounded them off so they weren't, as round, how a dowel is.
Mm-hmm.
Contoured it and then buffed them out and stropped them. And he claimed they were really, pretty good basically for what you're spending on them, because
Okay.
the
Well, yeah,
dowel would only be, 50 cents or whatever that you pay.
550
If you
plus your
figure,
labor.
if you figure you're only spending, taking 2.5, 3, 4 inches, for each handle, they were pretty economical, and he was happy with the result on them after he stropped them and got them pretty sharp. So,
Yeah, and
I mean, you were looking for, ways to,
inexpensive gouges, yeah.
for,
Although
teaching Boy Scouts or whatever.
Barry says he was able with a honing tool, with a power honer. Is it a honer or a sharpener?
It's
Barry,
a honer.
he was able to make them work. I haven't seen him yet, but
Well, I
it
figured
had
I'd
to be
just
better
bring
than
it
what
up
I
because I
had.
thought it was pretty interesting.
That is definitely something I'd like to try. I just don't trust my ability to create the handle. It'd take me a few tries, I think.
I think he ended up rounding off the ends and where it attached to the tool went in the handle itself and different things.
Well, if you come across that video again in your history, will you share it with me? There should be a share button on there. Because, yeah, that might be something I could do with the Boy Scouts. Is it, let's make our own gouges. I can figure out how to do it. Yeah, they're like $38 now, last time I looked. And I want to have small ones, and they're hard to come by. Not everybody sells those bad boys.
You mean the dockyard ones or
Yeah,
dockyard like
yeah,
micro tools?
yeah. Something kind of in between a micro tool and a regular gouge. So I want like half inch or a quarter inch. And they're hard to come by. And I think micro tools are even smaller than that. So yeah, there's an ugly spot here that will not take the dye at all, which is interesting. We'll let that set up and see how it comes out. And now it's looking kind of purpley. Supposed to be sapphire blue. Oh, I should do it on here too. All right. I'm not sure you guys will be able to see it over the Zoom to see if you like the color or not.
I'm giving each one of these eagles another coat of this really watered down titanium white.
Good, good.
And you can still see the wood burning through it. So
Excellent. That's exactly. I found I kept putting layer and layer and layer on top, and you could still see my wood burning as long as I kept it super thin. I don't know why that is, but it works.
yeah, we always used to use Bob Dixon as our judge. You put a
Mhm.
couple coats on and take it over to him at the senior center, and
It was the
he'd tell you
masters.
whether that was enough or put a couple more on or whatever.
Now you got to use your own eyeballs.
Yeah.
And I told you the last eagle I did, because I always feel like it's enough. And then I let it sit and look at it in the good light, my chair that has the good light. And then I look at it again, add a little more, or a little more gold, or a little, because different colors give it more depth. And I did that probably 3 or 4 weeks every day until I finally said, yep, that's it. Got it. So don't feel like you have to know for sure right now. When you think it's good, stop and let it rest. Put it on your bedside table or wherever you got good light in the morning. Take another look and say, maybe another coat. You'll know. Oh, this is interesting. What I'm learning is that some parts of this wood take the dye not at all. It just doesn't seep in. So it has something on it, but it's not all of it. Very interesting. It really looks purple. I don't know why. It's not blue, it's purple, like a dark purple. But as Evie said, that's not a bad thing for Halloween. For the motif
Yeah.
here. I'm not sure it'll look the same when it's dry. I can show you what I got right now as far as color. Isn't that interesting? It does seem to be about the same whether it's gouged or not. So I hope you can see the black streaks in there.
Yeah, I can see that.
Gives it some character and depth when you get the different colors going. This one's a little more dry. So it's more of a dry brush approach in the front. I kind of like that. Let's see what it looks like when it dries. And I can always sand it down and do more blue or do more black, depending on what you want. Now it's going to put this on here so it can be dry. Hopefully this will work. It's a coloring day today. I was just at the Dollar Tree and forgot to get these again. I never used them for makeup, but I sure do like them for applying paint and dye.
Oh, the wedges for the cosmetics.
Mm-hmm. And now, can you guys see this? It's pretty red looking.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have left more of the black on, give it a darker brown.
I thought it looked I thought it looked pretty neat when before you put that other coat on. I mean, when it
Just
looked
kind of
distressed,
battered up.
when it looked distressed, I mean,
Mm. Well, I can always sand it again.
or I thought it looked nice anyway.
Yeah, I guess that kind of goes with the veteran motif, doesn't it? They're pretty battered up too. Worn, used. Yeah, it's pretty rich looking though. I like it. See how it looks when it dries. I think I still have that going on here because I can see the beads of black through it. It definitely looks like an old gun handle or something. So you can see the black through um,
Yeah.
the black through the brown. It's coming out pretty good, actually. I'm pretty happy. Still has that distressed look, but it's just a little more brown, warm brown. The reason I have to do this before I seal it because it's using the wood's pores. So I can't start painting till I get this done. Unless I'm very, very good with my spraying technique, and I'm not. So we do the dye first. And then we can spray it out after it dries. Yeah, I like it. an old gun barrel. That's the look I was going for. That one manifested right. That one actually came out the way I wanted it to. So we got this nice black and brown.
Yeah.
And I'm liking it. Now, if it dries that way, if it doesn't, then I have to apply some more. So this one came out too purpley looking. But how'd your coat of white do? You can still see your wood burning?
Yeah. With the extra coat on.
All right, let me go clean up my brush before it sets. Just a reminder about paintbrushes when you clean them out. You should let them prop them up so they're like this. So the water drains out this way, because if you do this, the glue that holds it will
No.
eventually. I saw that on a YouTube video, I think. Ziggy, set timer.
Timer for how long?
8 minutes, so I don't run out of time this time. 8 minutes.
8 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. I'm done playing with that for a little bit. Okay. Next thing I need to do, I need to go out and get my book. Putty for the eyes.
Well, I mixed up some brown with some burnt sienna and black, and I think I like that.
Yeah, it looks good. I like that a lot.
So that's just one coat with a real, thin, watery coat of the black and the burnt sienna together. So another thing that worked like you, a little bit different, but still.
Dye on his nose. I get dye on his nose.
Are you going to do any part of it painting, or are you going to
Oh,
do
yeah.
the beak a bright yellow
I am.
with dye or something?
I'm going to paint him white like you are. I'm just behind you. But I had to do the dye first because if I spray it down and prep it for painting, um, it the dye wouldn't take. The dye has to use the fibers in the wood. So, I mean, it would be like paint. It would just sit on top. It wouldn't do this marbling thing that I'm trying to do. So now when that dries, I'll be able to spray it all down if it dries to a nice color, which it looks like it's going to, but you know how paint is and dyes the same way. Sometimes when it dries, it just loses its.
Yeah, I found at least with this little bit so far, it looks nice when it's wet, but then when it dries, you think you're done. I mean, when you're.
And then when it dries, it fades it out or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
If only it would stay the color that you see when it's wet. It's kind of like rocks. You find the prettiest rocks after a rain. They just sparkle and they're colorful and vibrant. And then they dry off and they're just rocks. Kind of drab rocks. That's good. So Barry, how'd you go? Did you get your pins in?
No, my Dremel's giving me problems.
Of course. You're just
Finding the
having one of
right,
those weeks.
yeah, it is. Finding the right thing to hold my drill bit so it'll,
Mm-hmm.
like drill bit seems to be too small for
Yeah, usually like
Wow.
my Dremel kit has two different size chucks. So you should have another chuck in your kit somewhere that holds the smaller bits.
I do, but
It's still not working.
closes up too small.
Ah, you need something in between?
Yeah, yeah, looks like I do.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know I've done this before, but
Where's the chuck? And they're so little,
yeah.
no telling. Wow, I didn't notice this before, but where I wood burned the nostrils in, I had burned it really dark and it actually looks wet. It's glistening in the light. I guess around the beak too. Huh, that's strange. I don't remember seeing that before. I like this red. It was supposed to be a brighter red. It's called cherry red, but it actually is the color I wanted, this dark blood red. Because I think that's what the red's supposed to signify on
Hmm.
our flag is the blood of the
Yeah,
patriots. Yeah. I don't remember what the blue was supposed to signify.
all right, looks like I figured it out. Found the right chuck.
Good.
Oh, good.
Where was it?
It was just in a bunch of one of my holders, but it had a bunch of stuff over it. Covered it up.
Good. Finally heading in the right direction.
Yeah. Yep, that's the right one. That's the correct one. All right.
Are you enjoying having a place for everything and everything in its place?
I am. I am.
I
Yep.
bet
I
that must
should.
be really nice. Well, guys, we're down to about a minute
Oh
so
man.
of this session. And then give me another let's see, we'll meet back here. Yeah, usually we meet at 10 to. Ziggy,
Yeah.
stop. So I will see you guys in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Ziggy, stop. Is that 10 to? Like 10 minutes would be 45, 50. Yeah.
Yeah.
10
50.
minutes to your hour.
Okay.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
See you in a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.